Buddy, Labor Day grind, Monday, muscle Monday, motivation Monday. The grind don't stop. We still put in that work. We still staying consistent. You feel me? As soon as I woke up, went to the gym this morning, came back, made breakfast. I'm about to meal prep in a minute, man. I recorded another YouTube video earlier. I'm gonna post both of them here in a little bit, man. We staying productive. It's business as usual for me, man. You know, just because it's a holiday, you feel me? I had the day off. That don't mean nothing to me, man. I ain't where I want to be. If you ain't where you want to be at in life, ain't no days off. There are no days off. And I said this in one of my little videos earlier. If you want to be successful, you got to look at what most other people are doing and do the opposite, man. Like I said, most people, they took off the day, man. They had the holiday off. I bet money they didn't go to the gym. They didn't work on their side hustles. They didn't brainstorm, plot any ideas, man, or any goals that they got in the upcoming months or next year. They probably ain't do nothing, just sitting around on the couch, being lazy. I ain't saying ain't nothing wrong with being lazy, man, but you got to go the extra distance, man, when you want to try to achieve your vision, baby. You got to go and do daily what most people doing occasionally. Most people are not trying to put no work in. They like, I'm just going to lay up. I'm just going to take the day off, not put in no, I'm putting in work around the clock, man. You feel me? And the results, they going to show. But quick money video, baby. We talking about them finances, money hacks. I do a lot of financial videos. You know, I'm not rich by all means, but I do pretty well for myself. You know, I picked up a lot of things along the years. I've learned a lot of things when it comes to finances, learning how money works, investing, debt repayment, getting out of debt. All of that, man, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be trying to pass along what I learned to others, you know? And this is the thing, right? You will never be broke if you remember the principles of money and how money works, man. You know, there's certain things that people that are wealthy, people that are rich, man, people that always got some money, you know what I'm saying? They always stick to these principles, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that growing up, I didn't have people that knew a lot about money. We was broke. We lived in the projects. I had to educate myself. You know, I had to go to the library, read books. You know, I was the type of kid when I was 16, 17, 18, I was reading books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Dave Ramsey, you know what I'm saying? The Millionaire Next Door. I got all them books on my bookshelf, man. But you know, it's not enough just to read them. You got to actually apply them to your life. Some people read stuff, and then they put it back, and then they just move on to the next thing, but they don't take any action. You have to take action, man. And if you broke right now, you living paycheck to paycheck, you drowning in debt, you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, man. This is what I want to tell you. You know, if you focused on what you need to be focused on, you focused on the right stuff, that ain't going to be forever, man. Hard times don't last forever. You know, it was a point in my life, you know, I look back in the past, I didn't always have it all together. I was living paycheck to paycheck, didn't hardly had no dollars in my pocket. I had some money in my pocket because I was the type of person, my mom told me growing up, if you ain't got no money, don't go. Don't even go, man. I don't want nobody paying my way. I'm not the type of person when the bill comes and it's a big bill at the restaurant, I'm looking around. You know, we said we're going to put it on one check. Nah, I got my bread. I got Cash App, Venmo, credit cards. I got cash in my pockets. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person that I am, man. But like I said, it's not going to be forever, man. You got to stay down. You got to stay focused, man. Don't try to compare your situation to other people's situation. You know, like, damn, man, they balling out. They living it up. They doing this, man. Meanwhile, look at me over here, man. I got a certain amount of money that I'm budgeting. I'm on a shoestring budget, man. You know, and it's like I got every dollar going to a certain amount on every little thing, man. Every little pot, man. Hey, do what works for you, man. You know, you got to do what works for you. You can't try to keep up with the Joneses. You can't try to live beyond your means, man. You got to stay in your lane. But let's get right into the video, though, man. This is the thing, right? You know, you will never go broke if you always remember a budget is always mandatory. You have to have a budget. What I do, I take a spreadsheet, you know, for every time I get paid. It has all my bills typed out, every expense. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, it has how much I want to save, invest, you know, because you got to get into that mindset that you got to pay yourself as well. You feel me? You can't have all your money going out. Like I said, times may be hard. You know, you may not be able to save a lot, invest a lot right now, but a little bit goes a long way. I remember when I had my first job back in college, I was making maybe $200, $300 a week working at a casino part-time in West Virginia. I was finishing up college. That was all the money I was making. I would just save $25, $50 every week or two. You know, shit, that add up over time. You know what I'm saying? Compared to today, you know, I'm able to save 500 minimum. I take my 5,000. 1,500, man. I work a lot of overtime at my job, working at the prison. Shit, some checks I might save down 1,500, 2,000 grand every 2 weeks. You know, just stacking that bread up. But like I said, you gotta have a budget. You have to know. I want to know where all my dollars are going, man. You know, as soon as I get my paycheck, you know, I write down how much I made. I look at all my bills. I know how much my bills are going to be. I tally all that up, you know, and my goal is to have money left over after I pay all the bills, after I pay myself, put money in my investments, my savings, my emergency fund. I still want to have money left over at the end of the month. You cannot spend more money than you make, man. You're going to go broke every time. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got, man. You got to learn to live within your means and never go over, man. You know, if you're going in the red every month, you spending more than you make every month, you're going to end up broke every time, man. You know, there's different scenarios, you know, where that may work out for you. Let's say you're going into debt, you know, trying to fund your business, or you got a side hustle, man. That's different. I'm talking about if your bills, your expenses every month is so much to where you got to borrow, you got to put it on your credit card, man. You got to reevaluate your priorities, man. You got to rework and retool your budget, man. You're going to have to start cutting back on some stuff. You're going to have to downsize. You're going to have to do something, man, because like I say, the goal is to never spend more than you make. This is the next thing, shifting your mindset from a spender to a saver. First, you will never go broke, man. Most people, they got a spender mindset. They want to spend, spend, spend. You know, I'm like that sometimes too, man, but for the most part, I want to invest. You know what I'm saying? The rich, they trying to buy assets over liabilities. An asset is something that you buy. It puts money in your pockets, man. A liability is something that takes money out your pockets. You know, these days, I make it a game to try to invest as much money as I can. You know, like I said, I've been working in corrections 15 years now, right? So I try to take a lot of that money when I'm working on overtime shifts, man. You know, it's plenty of money left over after I pay my bills. I put 20% in my retirement account. I invest some. It still be plenty of money over. I'm like, damn, what am I going to do with this extra money, man? Let's invest it. Let's grow my wealth. That's how I think. That's how I think. I'm thinking like a saver. You know what I'm saying? Not a spender. And you got to remember this too, man. It's not enough just to save money, man. You got to put that money to work, not to sleep. You know, you need some money for your emergency funds, you know, for incidentals, things that may arise. But most of my money, you know, that I make, man, I'm trying to invest it. When I say putting it to work, I'm trying to do stuff like buy stocks. I'm buying crypto. I'm starting another business. I'm looking at another side hustle, man. I'm going to invest some money in that, man. That's what I mean by putting the money to work. You know, yeah, it's good. Like I said, savings accounts are good, man, but your money will go a whole lot further when you learn about the stock market. You learn about things like crypto. You got a business idea, man, or you good at something. You put the play in the motion. Now you got your business up and running, man. You selling out. Maybe you want to be a YouTuber or something. Come online, start making videos. You get your channel monetized. Now you got an extra source of income. You know, with this YouTube channel, I've been monetized, almost 3 years, right? Damn near all the money I done made off my YouTube channel, you know, I take and I invest it every month. I put a certain amount aside for taxes. The rest of it, I've been buying stocks with it for the past 2 years. The past 2 years, I'm looking for the next big Amazon or the next Tesla, the next Nvidia, you know, the next Palantir, the next stock, man, that's like $10 or something, man, and just blow up out of nowhere. I'm trying to put 5 to 10 grand on that, man, and get rich. That's how I be thinking. This is the next thing. Borrow to invest, not to impress. You know, so many people, they go into debt, you know, trying to impress people they don't like, trying to look cool, trying to appear rich. I want to actually be rich, man. I'm not out here, you know, borrowing, putting Balenciagas on my credit card, trying to lease the fastest, biggest car I can lease, the biggest, fanciest house, man. I'd rather borrow $50,000 to go try to find me a business to invest in. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Like, man, I don't need to try to impress nobody. I have nothing to prove, man. You know, I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not worried about what other people got going on. I see somebody online, you know, they got 1 million followers. They look like they living rich and well. Hey, man, if that's your thing, cool, man. You know, if you doing it like that for real, I'm happy for you. But I realize, man, what goes on behind the scenes. A lot of people, you know, when you look at and try to compare your situation to the Joneses and what other people got going on, you will see, if you was able to look behind the curtain, a lot of them people broke, man. A lot of these online content creators, they ain't really got it like that, man. You know, they may appear to look like they rich. They may have 1 million followers, man, but followers don't always equal dollars, man. Some of these people you see, they got more followers than dollars. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. They still don't understand money. You see rich, successful people go broke and go bankrupt all the time, man, because they spend. You know, they buying they friends' houses. They taking the whole crew when they go on trips. They buying all this jewelry, shit like that, man. If I got a big break, man, I was an actor, I got a $5-10 million payday, I'm going to pretend that after taxes, I'm going to pretend about 3 to 4 million that don't even exist. I'm going to tuck that away, you know, in a trust fund, or I'm just going to buy a ETF, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to buy this. I'm going to pretend it don't even exist. That's going to be my safe money in case I ever fall on hard times. I got 3-4 million tucked away, and I'm pretending it don't even exist. I ain't even going to tell nobody about it, man. You know, like I said, you want to borrow to invest, not impressed, man. You know, I'm trying to stay on the low key end of things. You know, I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm trying to stay low under the radar, man. You know, I don't need to try to prove how much money I got, how rich I am, man. I keep it simple, man. I go to my same little few restaurants. I live pretty comfortable, you know what I'm saying? I get to take trips. The bills are all paid. You know, I got emergency funds, stuff. I was to lose my job, insurance, life and stuff like that, man. That's the real flex to me right there, man. For the average person like you and me, a lot of us, man, you know, most of us, we work a 9-to-5 job. But, you know, you can still get ahead and you can live the life you want if you start early enough and you prioritize these things I've been talking about in this video. This is the last thing I'm going to leave y'all with, man. Don't let bad vices bankrupt you. You know, chasing women, tricking off, gambling, drinking, man. You got a spending problem. You know what I'm saying? You always in the casino playing, gambling. You done gambled away your damn rent. You lost at the crap table. Now you finna go to the ATM, pull out your rent money, think you can win it back, man. That's brought down so many people, man. You got bad vices. You got a drug addiction, man. You got to get that shit in control, man. You see that with celebrities, bro. All you got to do is turn on TMZ on the news, man. You see somebody that went bankrupt where they done OD'd and died because they had a drug problem. They tricking out on women, man. They going through a crazy divorce, all kinds of stuff, man. You know, I ain't got time for none of that, man. I'm trying to live my best life, get ahead, not just get by, and leave a legacy, man, and try to pass on this knowledge that I done picked up over the years to other people, man, that may be interested in trying to boss up their life as well. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got the merchandise for sale. It's one of my gym shirts. Defund the gym foreign police. Them boys be on my comments, always hating, saying I'm doing this, I'm doing that. This hating, man. Y'all ain't putting in no work like that, man. If you got time to come online and hate, man, you got too much time on your hands. You will never see me hating on nobody else, man. You know, the dudes that I see in the gym that's bigger and stronger than me, they ain't on there hating on me, man. They too busy putting in work, man. It be some dudes that probably been working out 3 months, man. Ain't having no motion, man. But y'all got any input, thoughts, comments on this video? Drop a comment. I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated. Boom.